How do?
Hey up!
Well, it's another review again, and this week we're reviewing War of the Worlds.
This one.
No, not that one.
Oh, this one.
No, not that one either.
Oh, how about this one?
No, try again.
We're doing the book?
No.
Okay. How about this clip?
Yes. Oh no, wait, that's an M1. No.
Oh, okay. You don't want to do the Tom Cruise one then?
No, there's only that decent 4-minute scene smack in the middle of the film that's worth it any value.
That's true.
Yeah, the rest of it's a load of tosh.
Okay, well, how about this one?
Yes, that's the one.
Ah, right, okay.
Yeah, the rather sort of poor 1953 B movie produced by George Powell.
Yes. Which of course has various problems with it, mostly because it likes listing planets as potential places for the Martians to go visit, which includes this place.
Martians considered Saturn an attractive world with its many moons and beautiful rings of cosmic dust.
Yes, Saturn, which is a gas giant, as we all know.
And then they go to Jupiter, which is, oh, that's also a gas giant.
Yes.
In fact, they've known it's been a gas giant since the 1800s.
Yeah. Although the production crew don't seem to realise this.
No, evidently not.
The film starts out with a narrator explaining why the Martians are looking for a new home, and that their planet is dying. And they scout out through the solar system, and they look for suitable homes such as Saturn and Jupiter, which of course are gas giants. Why they bother looking there, I don't know. And they also look at Mercury, which is closest to the sun and they would fry instantly. And then they look at Earth.
Oh, look.
And then within seconds, they arrive. And then you get the world's worst special effects ever.
Yeah.
And here is the clip.
Yep.
And yeah, basically the meteor is crashing down, and you'd think, oh, it'd make a massive explosion, really loud, but no. That's it. In fact, this synchronised sighing was actually better than that.
Yeah. It's a better sound effect.
Barely inaudible gasp that you heard.
It's just, it really is in the middle, and that's it.
Yeah.
It's like somebody decided to buy a load of sparklers.
Yeah.
For this movie, because it just happens so much, the same effect used over and over and over again, which of course isn't uncommon, because of course costs have to be taken into consideration, but in this case it really is just silly. Then of course, you know, this happens, they secure the site, and for some completely unfathomable reason the local sheriff leaves 3 yokel locals with the meteorite.
Surely you mean local yokels?
Yokel locals.
Ah.
Or local yokels, one or the other, it's interchangeable. Leaves them with the meteorite because, of course, you know, it's not really done anything, even though it's landed in a completely bizarre way, hasn't hit the ground at all like a normal meteorite does, is giving off a strange heat signature that would have dissipated hours ago. On top of that, even the scientists have said that it's weird because it's landed like no other asteroid that he's ever seen. But no, you know, oh no, we'll leave Huey, Dewey and Louie here to look after it. One of which is Mexican. Yes, folks, even illegal immigrants back in the 50s. It's been a long-running problem.
Yes, it has.
So, you know, that happens, and then all of a sudden we just randomly cut to this.
Al, a man left and a lady star. Gents walk around, but not too far. Al, a man left and a gentleman star. Ladies walk around, but not too far. First and third, you bounce and swing. Promenade the outside ring. 3/4 around the outside.
Which for some reason we transformed from this 1950s set where we're in 1950s small town America in California, about 25 to 30 miles from Los Angeles, and all of a sudden we're in Gone with the Wind, with the world's most bored country singer.
Yeah. It's amazing really how bored he sounds. And then the lights go out.
All of a sudden.
Yes. For dramatic effect.
Yes.
And then at the same time, of course, all the electrics go out and everything stops.
Yeah. And then Huey, Dewey and Louie get killed.
Yes.
In fact, they're the first casualties of this movie, and then there's just like a random 20-minute gap before the next one start dying.
Yes.
Which doesn't really make much sense.
No, although I think it's unintentionally funny that they all get killed by a giant red sparkler.
It is.
Yes.
And they all get turned into cookie dough.
Yeah.
It really does look, from the distance, it's cookie dough.
Yeah,
Chuck them in the oven for half an hour and they rise up again.
Yeah.
So, the aliens land in London, Bordeaux, Naples, and all of these are sort of hubs of some sort, be it transport or economic or even both. But in the USA, meanwhile, the aliens land in small town USA. So, in the middle of California, somewhere near Los Angeles. Not Los Angeles itself. No, we're going to do that one later. Or San Francisco, Seattle, Baltimore, Washington DC, you know, all the important cities. No, lands in the middle of mom and pop America. Which, you know, to be perfectly honest, if a little town podunk nowhere California got flattened, nobody would really care. No. This is the thing, but then all of a sudden, you know, the Marines are there and everything else. Very strange.
Yeah, it is.
So eventually we see one of the tripods in this movie, which isn't actually a tripod, it just sort of floats up and looks more like a flying saucer.
And then the Marine Corps arrive and, well, try and destroy them. And of course, being in the Marine Corps, you shoot at it first and then see if it'll talk.
So of course we learn the first thing about this movie, the first main rule, which of course is killing Vickers angers God.
Somehow the military, when they first see the, well, tripods, they are able to assign names to the weapons and, you know, also sort of describe what their purpose is and how they affect humans.
Which is quite weird, because even in the original book, of course, they only ever refer to the heat ray, its terrible beam. Now, obviously, of course, Wells is describing something similar to a plasma beam or something like that, but, of course, you know, it's Victorian parlance. But in this case, of course, you know, it's like, oh, well, we can't be bothered to do that sort of theoretical exposure or anything like that, so we're just going to call them skeleton guns, or skeleton beams, or some ridiculous name like that, because apparently you can see the skeletons. So apparently the Martians cannot differentiate between yokels, a vicar and soldiers, but then at partway point in the movie, for no apparent reason, they know how to differentiate between a scout plane with a bomb in it and two idiots in a Piper Cub that's in military painting colours.
Although this is a lot for the Martians, considering the fact that they look like dried up dog turds.
With sad faces. So eventually our hero chops off the eye of another part of the Martian war machine, and he takes it with him to some scientists, and then of course there is all of a sudden this random German Franco scientist. I think she's just meant to be generally European, and she sounds exactly like Michelle from Allo Allo, because of course she has that sort of attitude of, listen very carefully, I shall science this only once.
And our main protagonist, whose name escapes me, I'll put him up here.
We don't really care, he's an everyman scientist of the 50s, and it's a crap B movie.
Yes. He escapes from his institute, the university.
His institute. It's not even put away.
Yeah.
He has been put away, the whole thing's just in his mind. But no, seriously, he does escape, there is an evacuation, they all set together, and he just drives off, doesn't he?
Yeah, he just drives off through the abandoned streets of LA.
Just a dog. Wait. Oh, just a little doggy. Come here. It's just a dog. Dog. What's his name, huh? Glenn. Oh, you kidding me? Who's the idiot naming dogs these days, Lieutenant? What do you want to call him, Fido?
No, not that one. I promise you we'll do that at another time.
Really soon.
Really soon.
We'll do it, because it is a good movie.
Yes.
Unlike this one.
Yes, unlike this one. But yes, as he's driving through the deserted streets of LA, all of a sudden,
flash mob! So finally it seems all is lost! And then all of a sudden Kirk Douglas intervenes. And then the world is saved! Because all of a sudden the Martians just sort of give up and land. In buildings and stuff like that. They just suddenly stop. One sinks into the Thames, which is kind of funny because it immediately improves the quality of the water. So it was not microbes, it wasn't the bacteria or any of God's little creatures that actually destroyed anything. No, it was Kirk Douglas himself, strode down out of heaven and smoked the Martians, in spite of the fact he was actually alive at the time of the movie. So this is an official AnJ public announcement, which is never attack a church.
No, never attack a church.
Because Kirk Douglas will come for you.
Yes.
In your sleep.
Yes. And
like Freddy Krueger.
Yes, and he will
be angry.
Very, very angry.
Really angry.
Yes.
Right, so, fancy going to the nightclub?
Yeah, sure, why not?
Yeah, it's just over there in the crash lander lot.
Oh. So it is. What are they listening to in there?
Dubstep, apparently. So this movie has a pretty naff special effects. It's a B movie. The sounds isn't that great. The acting is frankly terrible. There's a lot of screaming.
Yes.
A lot of screaming.
A lot of screaming.
To the point blood runs down your ears.
Yes.
So we have that. It's one of those movies that if there's not much else on, yeah, I'd watch it. If there was anything else about though, or if I had another DVD, I probably wouldn't. Which, you know, it's not too bad. But that does actually conclude another AnJ review.
Yes.
So of course next time we're going to be doing another movie.
Yes. And this other movie will be one of our aircraft is missing.
Quite a good one.
Yes, it is quite a good one.
So join us next. Oh nuts.
Oh.